everyone, to another episode of Amplify Your Authority. I'm so excited that you are here. I'm just checking, make sure that everything is recording and streaming correctly because I'm not seeing all the buttons yet, but I see it now. So welcome. I'm Marisa Shadrick, online marketing consultant and certified copywriter. And with me today is the lovely Kathy Farah. Kathy, would you welcome everyone and introduce yourself?
Welcome. I appreciate you guys coming back and listening to Marisa and I go back and forth on these things. I'm Kathy Farah. I'm a ConvertKit email strategist, and companies hire me to help them with their email marketing, landing pages, re-engagement, and so on.
Yeah, I love having Kathy as a let's the word this correctly, guest co-host for Amplify Your Authority. She shows up once a month when we talk about copy, simply because she's got so much expertise, and it's nice to kind of banter back and forth, talk about copy together, and you sort of eavesdrop and listen to the conversation as we talk about it, because we were doing this anyway. Whenever we got on Zoom, we talk shop, and I thought, why don't we just record it on the podcast? That would be fun. So it's going to sound like you're eavesdropping into a conversation, but trust me, we are organized. We do have notes, so it's not completely random. And today we're going to talk about bullets. I love bullets. How about you, Kathy? Do you love bullets?
I
Is that one?
do.
It's
Yes,
one of
I
my
love
favorite.
bullets.
Yeah,
It makes things so much easier to scan through things, right?
I know. I call them cousins to headlines. They're kind of in the same family.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
cousins to headlines. So today we're going to talk about bullets, and then we're also going to do a copy critique, which you could do too.
Yes.
What we do is we have links in the show notes, and people can join our podcast community, and they can submit a live opt-in page or their homepage if they like for critique. And so you fill out the form, you give us a live URL, a link, and then we critique it on the show. And trust me, we're kind, because there's always great points, right? Great points. And we want to be able to share with you all the strong pieces of your submission. And also, if there's room for a little bit of improvement, we want to do that too, because we want everybody to succeed. So I'm excited to get started and talk about bullets. So Kathy, why don't I have you sort of lead the way? How would you, like, if somebody said, what's a bullet? Let's start from the beginning. How would you describe a bullet or the skeleton of a bullet? You know, what's a simple way to explain what a bullet is?
A bullet is going to be essentially little mini headlines. It gives you an opportunity to, kind of in a quick, digestible way, break up really thick copy in something that's a lot easier to read. And generally, these are things that you're really making some strong benefit statements related to sales copy and that type of thing. So a bullet is really just a lot of little headlines, essentially, to grab somebody's attention.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. It's kind of, I really hesitate to say it's a list, because I don't want people to start saying, oh, I could just make a list of these things, because that's where the error falls, right?
Yeah.
But it resembles a list, but it's so much more. Each one of the bullets in whatever section you're writing is able to, again, like Kathy said, break up blocks of text or thick text. We never want to have, big blocks of text, even though some people maybe narrow the margin and maybe they can see it well on a mobile phone. It's just too much. When our eyes are scanning left and right, it's too much to kind of follow along. We kind of like zone out.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, for sure. So that's the number one thing, that bullets are a great way to highlight in a way, because people don't necessarily read all your copy. I hate to break the news to you.
What?
They don't. Do you find, can you speak into that? Do you find that's the case?
Yes, I would say so. And I mean, really, if you think about your own way of reading content, we skim through things to see if there's value in what we're going to read. And honestly, it's funny, even just as, doing copywriting, it's just changed the way, like it almost immediately when I see a really thick block of text, it just almost is like, ugh, where's the,
I know.
where's this broken up? I want the white space. It's interesting. So I would definitely agree that,
Yeah,
yeah, you
that's,
don't read all the way through. You look for what matters to you.
and we're trying to be honest with you
Yeah.
because we want you to understand it's everyone, not just you. They're not going to read everything. However, bullets is a great way to stimulate intrigue and catch their attention because, like Kathy said, they're going to scan first. And if the bullets are positioned correctly, if you even use bold text in some bullets, they can scan and they can almost get a feel of what the rest of the copy is going to say. So we want them to linger because they're only going to
Yes.
visit a site, regardless of what it is, for a few seconds. So we want to use the headlines and the bullets in a way that will cause them to pause and to linger and obviously to really, I hate to use the word, but you do control their attention with bullets because once they see a set of bullets, they may scan down at the next set of bullets. Do you feel like that's correct, that it will help control maybe their attention a little bit?
Absolutely. And when you space things in such a way where maybe there's a very short paragraph and then you've got a few bullets and then a very short paragraph and a full few bullets, that sort of rhythm will get somebody to scan the bullets. Usually they're going to look there first. And especially if you have something highlighted, bolded that kind of grabs attention, that shows it's going to connect to what I may be interested in, what I'm looking for. I may go back up and read those
Yeah,
paragraphs that are above the bullets once I've sort of identified that this is something that I am interested in learning more about.
for sure. And you hit it on the nail when you said, our own behavior, we scan and bold pops out. So using bullets, and they need to be they need to be benefit driven, or has to, let me back up. Benefit driven depending on what you're trying to accomplish with that set of bullets, because different bullets can accomplish different things. For example, testimonials can be put in bullet form, or features can be put in bullet form, but it depends on where you're going to have it, because you can have it in so many different places. That's why bullets are so wonderful. They're so versatile. You can even have it on the back cover of a book. So
Yeah.
depending on where you have it is going to determine like what type or what theme of bullets they're going to be. Are they going to be pain driven or benefit driven? So the umbrella to all this is that bullets trigger emotions, which is what we're trying to do, right? We're
Yeah.
trying to trigger emotions
Yeah.
because that's what's going to cause people to linger. So, so Kathy, let's move into why are bullets effective? We kind of teased it a little bit when we explained about bullets, but let's talk a little bit about the pain and benefits and explaining features, how we group these bullets. How do we group these bullets?
Yeah, I think when you're working on different types of copy, sales copy, a lot of times is a really great place where you're, breaking things down when you're looking at like a benefit of a product and you're sort of breaking down that benefit. Bullets are a great place to kind of break down those benefits, addressing pain points of why somebody may want to take some action. It helps them identify why these are the pain points I feel, and I
Mm-hmm.
would like to, what's next,
Yeah,
so you could
absolutely.
break it down in different ways like that.
Yeah. So if we speak specifically, it might be easier to kind of explain it. Like on a sales page, you
Okay,
may
yeah.
start with pain bullets, because if you understand your audience really well, you're going to know maybe what the struggle is, not just the external struggle, but the internal feelings that are going on with them because of this external struggle. So if you can very succinctly explain, and you often see if you struggle with, that's a poor way to write it, but you get the idea. If you struggle with, and you begin to highlight these things that you know your audience is struggling with, then all of a sudden they're going to self-identify and go, oh gosh, that's me. And then when they go down to the benefits, like what you were talking about, Kathy, what do you suppose they're going to feel when they see all those bullets that are benefit or result driven? How are they going to feel
Now
when they get to that?
yeah, you're now going to feel like there might be a solution to solve my pain point.
Yeah.
And especially if you're able to drive those benefits down to, okay, it's addressing like, oh yeah, I'd like to be able to fix that. That's going to help me fix this problem and so on. And it's going to list it in such a clear way.
Mm-hmm. Like, for example, weight loss. Let's just take weight loss.
Okay.
Oftentimes people don't just want to lose weight, they want to maintain the weight. So if you show a bullet that has a benefit that they can lose, maybe say they lose, I don't know, 3 pounds a week. So what's that? Over 10 pounds a month. And not only lose and reach your goal after 90 days, but maintain your weight even over the holiday season, now they're seeing a deeper benefit. So that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about, is that it needs to be not just you can lose weight, next bullet, something else. You
Yeah.
want to finish that bullet. It's almost has a rhythm. You start with the benefit and then you give them the result of that benefit. So it needs to be completed. And I think that's the number one thing I see in bullets, that they start right with a benefit, but then they kind of stop. We need to show
Yeah.
a benefit and then the result of the benefit, right? For example, like let's figure weight loss. Let's camp there for a minute because that's a little easier. If I walk, right? You're a walker, Kathy too.
Yes.
If I
Yeah.
walk every day, I'm going to feel some immediate benefits. I'm going to have maybe a little bit more energy. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for doing it because I don't want to do it, So
Yeah.
all of those are benefits, but long term, what could we say about long term, Kathy? Not only the immediate, but long term, if they're walking.
Yeah, you're healthier. You feel healthier. Maybe you're addressing some health related issues that suddenly become like a benefit. Your mindset sort of changes. You start
Mm-hmm.
to feel more positive. And oftentimes, like with walking for me, a lot of times it sparks creativity.
Yeah.
Just getting out in nature and being able to, walk and think about ideas, it just kind of comes to life. So there's other benefits that you can kind of highlight that helps
Yeah.
them feel that deeper emotion.
And there's been studies too that show people that walk and begin to track maybe their steps, they can help existing health conditions too. And so the long term benefit could be also prevention of osteoporosis, right? Or it could
Mhm.
be maybe lowering their blood pressure medicine. Those type of things are ongoing benefits for them. So that's what we're trying to do, is not just say you can lose weight, because that doesn't have an emotional connection as much. It's more like a desire of an outcome that they want, but we want to really connect it to something that is going to resonate with them. And for the ladies, maybe it's looking better and feeling more confident, right? Maybe they're
Mhm.
not feeling so confident. So we want to dig
Yeah.
in to what are the benefits of this and the outcome. And when we just kind of inject our bullets with these things, they really pop and they really do a lot of the heavy lifting. Wouldn't you agree? I love
Yes,
bullets.
absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you think is
Yeah,
the
because you're
hardest thing
driving
about
some
writing?
action too
Yeah.
in the story,
What
you
do you
know?
think is the hardest thing about writing bullets? I'm curious what you think.
I think it's probably really needing to write the true amount. Like, like really you should be writing, a lot more than what you're actually using. So if the end result is 10 bullets, I think the idea of writing these, you know, 10, 20, 30 different options to really pull out the best information. I think that's, one area. Um, Also trying to tie it to like what your preceding sentence is to see, does it make sense? Does it kind of logically flow where, everyone kind of says you'll
Yeah.
discover, But does that bullet point, if you were to say you'll discover, and then bullet point, you'll discover, bullet point, does it flow? Or did you
Mm-hmm.
kind of lose track of, does the sentences still make sense if you were to add your little phrase before each of those bullets?
I love that. Just writing more, almost like free writing. Like, what can I say about this product or service that I'm providing? What is the pain and the struggle of my target audience? And even what are the objections? And
Yes.
just free writing, like Kathy was saying, just write, write, write. And if you could even create, a list of maybe internal struggle, external struggles, those type of things, words that they use, and then start writing a lot over the amount and not judging it, right? Just writing
Right.
some lines and then going back and see which ones are the best ones might be a good way to get started, right? So bullets can be very effective, and they can be normally when you write bullets are thematic. Like Kathy was saying, you can talk about the benefits, or you can talk about the pain, or some of them could be explaining the features. That would be okay then to write about features. If you're explaining about the product, if you're at that place on a sales page and you're explaining the product, you can tell them what's included in whatever it is they're buying. So that's okay in that scenario.
Yeah.
So, how do bullets command attention? I put in here that they conceal and reveal. So sometimes they're curiosity driven too.
Mm.
Would you say that's also
Yeah.
kind of a strategy that sometimes they
Yeah, you could definitely create some curiosity and say, what's inside? What is that going to tell me?
yeah,
By the types of bullets where you're not revealing all of the details in the bullets of what you'll get, just hinting at the idea.
yeah. And what I like, the reason why I scan is I like to get to the bottom line. What's
Yeah.
the bottom line? Because sometimes sales pages, I mean, Kathy, have you seen sales pages that go on and on and on and on and on and on?
Yes.
Literally, your finger is just like scrolling, 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 scrolling. And we want to
Yes.
get down to the bottom of what are you really offering? I don't know. They
Right.
must be effective. I don't like them, and I don't write
No.
that long. As long as I say what I need to say, I call it good and call it a day. But some of them just go on forever.
Well, and
And
you know what I always think of when I start seeing a very long sales page like that? I immediately start going, "Oh my gosh, how expensive is this thing?"
Mhm.
It's going to be very expensive. They're really trying to convince me of something. And I'm not sure if anyone ever reads from start to finish of a very long sales page, but somebody must, right? There's
Yeah.
detailed people that will, but I always think this must be very, very expensive.
Hmm. So
So I want to scroll to the bottom.
yeah, me too. And then I start wondering, sometimes when they write too much, I get suspicious.
Yeah,
I'm going, why are
that's
you writing
true.
so much? Are you trying to bamboozle me or something?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
why are you writing so
overselling
much?
me. Yeah,
Or are you just stuffing keywords and that's why this thing is so long? I don't see the
good point.
necessity for it because I have paid for premium products a lot, thousands of dollars, and it didn't even have to be that long of a sales page as long as the benefit and the transformation, the outcome was there, what I was
Yeah,
looking for. So it was there, then I was okay to do that. So one of the things too that I love about bullets is they're rule breakers. They don't
yeah,
have to be grammatically correct. Isn't that something?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
so effective that way. And they can contain more than one sentence. If you do write a sentence, you can have a couple sentences in there depending on where you're using it. So some of the most common bullets, like I think you said it, here's what you'll discover,
yeah,
that kind of tease it up, or how to's. People are familiar with
yeah.
those,
How
how
to's, yeah,
to bullet, 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 or also number bullets, right?
yeah,
Here are the 5 ways you can do something, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll show in bullets. So another one that's one of my favorites. I don't know if you use these, Kathy, is the if then. If you're able to spend, 30 minutes a week or an hour a week, writing, you can improve your copy by 10% or something, then you'll improve your copy by 10%. The if then, if you do this, then this can happen. If you walk, a mile a day, then your health can increase by a certain percentage or something like that. Do you use those? Do you like those?
I have before, but I don't use them very often, to be honest with you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll use them, to like break things. You'll get, if I'm selling something, I might break down the bullets of the things that you're going to get in this offer, that this
Yeah.
is what the price is, and here are the things that this is what it means. Like,
Yeah.
what's included, that type
Yep.
of thing. But yeah.
So let's give them an idea of where we can use bullets, and then let's go into our critique. So,
Okay.
where are
That
places you've
sounds
seen
great.
bullets that
I
they
have
can use
seen
them?
them on website landing
Mm-hmm.
pages, on
Mm-hmm.
opt-ins,
Mm-hmm.
emails,
Yeah.
if they're selling a product, especially, sales pages,
Mm-hmm.
the back of book covers, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
All of those
yes,
social
yeah,
posts.
social post, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
often right. We a lot of times we'll use them in social post.
Yeah. I mean, they're so versatile, and because they're so powerful and they say so much succinctly. Now, that is a skill that needs to be developed to be able to say things succinctly because
Yeah,
it's not easy. The less
yeah.
you say, the harder it is to write. It
It
seems like.
is. It really is. That's why I love Grammarly, because it does help to kind of remind you, like, you don't really need all of those words.
Hmm.
Start stuffing it with a bunch of adjectives. You could probably drop a few adjectives.
Yeah. And to get started, I love what you suggested for them to just write. Just start writing, no judgment. And think of even objections when you're doing that. What are some of the objections, and flip it into a benefit? That way you're addressing exactly maybe some preconceived idea that they have that's blocking them from moving forward. If you take an objection and flip it into a benefit driven bullet, that may help as well. But I love that idea, and I do that. I just free write, or I make a list first, or I just kind of craft some things first. And when I do a lot of headlines, a lot of those can turn into bullets. So it's not wasted
Yeah.
time at all because you're only going to use so
Yeah.
many headlines. The others can be
Right.
turned into bullets. So excellent. So today, Kathy, we have a copy critique by Krista DiMercurio, and she has a lead magnet that she would love us to take a look at. So I'm going to
Okay.
share my screen, and then we'll go over this. Let me see if I can find my share button here. So where did it go? Here it is. No, that's script. Hang on just a second. Well, where is my darn share button? Hang on a second. Here it is.
Do you have thousands of windows open again?
I have 3 monitors. Don't you
I
love
know.
that?
That's the problem. Your share button is somewhere hidden.
Yeah. So let me share here. It's giving me, and the thing is that a lot of these tools, they start updating, and then things kind of move around. So, but that's
Yes.
okay. I think we got it here.
There we go.
So this is her opt-in. This is what she provided for us. So let me see if I can make this bigger because I'm having a hard time
Yes,
seeing it.
please.
Having a hard time seeing it. So
There we
we
go.
have, let's describe, for those that are listening, let's describe it first. So you want to describe what you see for those that are in listen only?
Yeah, it starts off with an image, and it looks like she's got it's a person holding, so it looks like it's like a magazine, so that's nice. It kind of gives you, I'm sure it's the cover of her opt-in, so that really makes it appear 3D like. So that's kind of how it starts, is showing the title and the image of her opt-in cover,
Mm-hmm.
someone holding it. So it kind of gives you that feel like you can, gives that
Yeah.
pop off the page.
And the image has beautiful wine glasses, like a whole cluster of wine glasses with various colors of wines in it. And
Yes.
below, there's text that says Wine Pairing 101. So it's very compelling image. I
Yes.
love the image. It's beautiful. Okay, so
Yep.
let's go further so you can describe the rest. What's below it?
So then below that, there's some text. You've got a little headline, and text, and then the option, to be able to sign up. So you can enter your email address and then your call to action button to send to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the colors are stand out. So you've got yellow and kind of a soft pink as well.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it's an opt-in form from an email service provider of some sort. So
Yes.
it has a place for the image, and then the actual box where the email goes has within it a little bit of text that says, "Which wine tonight?" And then below it, it says, "Chef and Mrs. Chef have prepared for you an 8-page wine pairing ebook to guide you through the process of making your wine selections. Learn tips for choosing the best wine for you, your meal, and your palate. Free plus bonus printable wine pairing grid." And then she has just email. No first name, just email, and then a call to action button that says "send to me." That's it. There's no really opt-in page to this. It's more of an opt-in form. So maybe we need to explain the difference, Kathy, so people understand. This looks like it came from an email service provider in its actual form. I'm guessing. It looks like it.
Yeah, it does look like the form usually is going to be limited as to how much information you can put in it versus an actual standalone page. Usually you
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit more room to add some additional detail and maybe some bullets.
Agreed.
But yeah, so this does look like it's the forms usually gives you just limited options.
Right. First of all, I love the idea of the lead magnet. I love, because
Yes.
I don't drink wine very often. And don't send me to the store to buy wine because I
Right.
won't know
Yeah,
what to
me neither.
pick, and I will just blunder
Right.
and I will waste money. So don't send me to
Yes.
the store. So having this
Yes.
guide, I think it's a really great idea because
Yeah.
I know Krista, and they do a lot of culinary videos, and they talk a lot about food, and she brings, and this is only because I know her.
Yeah.
You can't tell this from the
Look.
lead magnet, but I
No.
know her that she helps people take the outdoor fancy restaurant dining experience and bring it to the kitchen, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
simplify it.
Okay.
But you can't tell all that here. See, you can't
Right.
tell all that because what we're seeing is the actual resource, which is beautifully done. Love the
Mhm.
colors, love the
Yes.
cover, love it, love it,
Yes.
love it. The background is kind of a light rose, like a pink, but the colors are beautiful. Which wine tonight? And she says what this is. So, what she's done with the colors aesthetically, the idea is stellar because, again, and plus she includes a printable, something you can put with a magnet on your refrigerator. Very
Yeah.
clever, great idea, perfect for her to offer this because since they do give, cooking tips, simple tips, and she helps you create these beautiful meals at home, you might want to get a bottle of wine to go with it. So this is really
Yeah.
serving her audience well. So those are the positive things I see. Do you see more positive things here from this resource?
Yeah, I definitely think this is helpful because that's often a question, people have is kind of how do you pair your wine? Does this type of wine go with fish or chicken or, beef? Like, deciding which wines will kind of complement the food you're creating, I think is something that people that drink wine do look for. So I think she's addressing the needs of an audience that may be interested in, learning more about wine and making
Yeah.
it simple. I think that's great. And then you kind of have the background. I wonder if it's kind of the pink is sort of kind of a play off of like rosé, that color that you would typically see, kind of a light pinky um, vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Yeah.
think all of that kind of stands out
Yeah.
nicely.
And so let's look at this and let's think of, because we talked about bullets, what do you think are the problems that people run into when it comes to wine? Now, I expressed a little bit of mine, I would totally waste money because I don't know how. I just learned that I'm such an idiot with wine that, light meat with light wine, like a white wine, red meat with red wine. I mean, I didn't even know that. What can I say?
Yeah.
Because I don't drink wine.
Yeah, and I'm
But
not a big wine expert, so it would
so
definitely, if I
yeah,
was trying to figure that out.
but what say if I want to prepare a meal, like say for the holidays or maybe someone's anniversary and I want it to be really special, then I just don't know how to do this. And so it's going to create, first of all, some anxiety because I want to pair it well and I want it to be
Yes.
special and I want it to be memorable. And so this would be really helpful for those struggles as well. Can you think of other problems too that people might have when it comes to pairing, especially if you don't drink wine very often? You're not going to know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But
this would be a great opportunity for bullets where you're talking about those kind of pain points of trying to, you've got a special occasion coming up, what type of wines, maybe it is something like that where it kind of gives a hint um of the different scenarios that you might encounter of when you would be specifically wanting to find the right wine pairing.
yeah, especially because wine, and I just know from going with my husband, he understands wine a lot better than I do, but some of them can be really expensive, and expensive doesn't always mean good.
Right.
Some of the ones that aren't as
Right.
expensive can be wonderful. So it just depends
Yes.
on where the wine came from, what year it is, and all this other stuff that I have no
Yeah.
clue. So
And so
I
that would be interesting to kind of highlight is which direction is this going in? Is it at a more basic level or is it giving you some of that information of, how you can purchase a, wine that kind of meets your budget? Um, because like you just said, sometimes people think to get a good wine, they have to spend a lot of money, and that isn't always the case. There are
mhm.
other options.
And
Um,
that would be beautifully displayed with bullets.
Yes, yes,
So
exactly. So
I
kinda
think, yeah.
highlighting the things they're addressing in their ebook, the scenarios like we're talking about in a bullets,
Mhm.
kind of a list of bullets might be beneficial here.
I think so too. So for those just listening, I think this form is done very well. What I would like to see is more. I would like to see about
Yeah.
Chef and Mrs. Chef. I would like to know about who they are. I would like
Yes.
to see the benefits of being able to do this. What are the challenges I'm going to be able to overcome, like I was sharing earlier, from this resource? Again, if I was to sell this resource, what else would I put on there to be able to show the
Right.
value of it? And that's how we have
Right.
to think sometimes. Like, if I was to
Yeah.
sell this, what do I need to put on there to show the value? And unfortunately, today it's so congested online that have to treat the freebies like as if we were going to sell something and provide
Yeah.
as much as possible on there on the opt-in page. So this is great. I would just love to see more. And then if she
Yeah,
does
and I
create a live
think
web
the
page,
other
then she can create that custom URL.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, just like you were saying, without, so if I'm a person, how do I arrive at this page? So what's my awareness level of who they are? Um, Chef and Mrs. Chef doesn't really give me, an understanding. So having a little bit, like you said, to help build some trust of why I would give my email address for this wine guide versus another wine guide, if they have these, other means that they're communicating, if they're more popular in a social setting, as far as like teaching certain things,
Mm-hmm.
then giving a little bit of information about who they are so that someone, um, has trust putting, their email address there.
Mm-hmm. I think the only exception, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, where you would want maybe just the fields or just the box itself without an entire opt-in page would be if you're a blogger and you're creating some kind of content upgrade, like you're blogging, you're
Okay.
writing
Yeah.
something about the topic, And then there is a field with a call to action that if you put your email in here, you can get this printable and also this free resource. In that situation, I could see that this would work well. And sometimes you can connect your email service provider with your website and have the fields pop in so that there's no barrier. There's not another page they got to go to. Right there when they're reading the blog post, they can put in their email and get that download. So I think I will say
Excellent
there is a
point.
place for this
Yes.
for content upgrade. Yeah.
And that's what we don't know here right now. So that's an excellent point.
Yeah, that was because I was thinking about that and I thought, well, wait a minute, I do use forms. What do I use them for? And I use them for content upgrade. So I take it back.
Yeah. So location makes the difference.
Or if you're doing some kind of live event, like I know she does videos, if she's doing a live video and she's saying, if you're watching this video, now the thing is, if it's an actual opt-in, there's more uses for it. It could be a standalone lead magnet that you can use in other places. But if you're having some type of Zoom call or something and you're presenting something and you want them to just fill out their email and you're talking about wine pairing already, that's kind of like a content upgrade, but you're actually mentoring and you're helping them and you're audibly on video saying something, maybe this will work too. But I think she could use this more. I think she could use this with an opt-in page. She could use it a lot more.
Yes, for sure. Because I think she's addressing something that people want to learn more about. So, yeah, I think you're right. So it really depends on where she's got it and if she's getting to sort of sell what this is in another format. And then this is just kind of the the step to, get the actual guide. You're right. That would just make sense that she could use just the form itself.
Yeah. And then again, she can always use the resource as a bonus for something else. And the natural problem that people will have once they figure out how to pair it, how do you make the meal, the beautiful meal? And that's where she can help them too. So I think overall,
and that's where her welcome sequence could, after they sign up, can start to go into that too.
Ah, there we go. Email strategist thinking there. Yep. For sure. You can go from there with the email sequence and do a little bit more with that, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Take them
right.
down that path to kind of get to, see, I always think of repurposing things, right? So that's, it was something that she's put so much time into. You'd want to see all the different ways you could repurpose it in different areas.
Absolutely. I like how you think though. Email, because it's true. You can use an email. You can put bullets in the email.
Yes, exactly.
Now we're full circle.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
We are almost at the end here because we've been on and we're trying to keep these about 30 minutes. So I just appreciate Krista DiMercurio giving us this opportunity to critique it. I think she did a fantastic job. I just would love to see more. That's all. Just love to see more. And in the show notes, I will put a link. We are going to be, Kathy and I are going to be working together. And we're going to be inside of Copy Connection, which is a copywriting course where we show up for Q&A and critiques. It's not open yet. There's a wait list because I decided to add ChatGPT and AI component to each module. It is what it is, right? That's the elephant in the room. I need to address it. So it needs to go in before we launch it. But the wait list, you can join the wait list, marisashadrick.com/waitlist. And then you will be in the know when we open it up to the public. And it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. Go through various modules. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can do one each month or you can go faster. And there'll be opportunities once a month for Q&A and also for copy critiques. So, Kathy, do you have anything else you want to add about our conversation today with bullets and Krista's lead magnet?
No, I think this was all excellent, and it's always nice when somebody submits. So I appreciate that she was one of the brave souls that saw that we will, we want to try to help. That's the biggest thing here, right? We want to be able to help people get better at the things that they're doing.
I think it's beautifully done. If she uses it for content upgrade, I think it's a done deal. If she wants to use it more, like you said, repurpose it, then, an opt-in page would be a great idea too. Or even, I don't know, what else she sells on the back end, but it could be a way to use an email sequence to sell something else related to the topic. So yeah, she did a great job. So Kathy, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you. I'm glad we did this again.
Yeah. And next time I want to hear what you're working on to see what type of offers you have for everyone. So I'm going to hold you to it. It's been recorded. Yep. It's on here.
I'm trapped.
You're not trapped.
Yes,
but thank
absolutely.
you so much. It really is wonderful to do these with you. I love it. I love connecting with you. And I know it just gives everybody a lot of value. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. Until next time, we'll say goodbye. You want to say goodbye, Kathy, to everyone?
Yes, bye. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.